Part 2 of the quick reference guide is for the site controllers and the GSTs. So the first step for the site controller when they get to site is to go into Teams, to the Teams Zinfra Gas Services channel, and to the Gas Outage Make Safe Real Light Listings channel. So we'll go into there. That will bring up these folders, and the site controller needs to select the Make Safe Real Light and Customer Listings folder. Now in there, by the time that the site controller gets to site, the control room should have downloaded all the street listings for the area outage. In this case, for Emu Plains, they've created a folder, so we'll go into that one. And the very first thing we need to do, or the site controller needs to do, is to find the summary spreadsheet. The file name will start with JGNV, and there'll be two files. There'll be a summary file and a full list file. So we'll just scroll down till we find those. And there they are there. So the full meter report is essentially just a single spreadsheet with all the listings combined. Don't really need to use that one. The one we want to use is for the site controller is the summary one. So we'll click on that to open it. And once we're in, we'll just highlight those columns and double click between them just to space them out. And so now the site controller is in a position to start allocating the streets. So I'll just pop in a few names as examples. And there might be a situation where the site controller might want to allocate a street to two GSTs. So we'll pick Leonard Parade here and say, because it's 47 metres, we'll split that between Craig Mason and Blake Speed. Okay, and so the site controller will move down the list, allocating them accordingly. So once those decisions have been made, the site controller can then go back into Teams, and we'll use Leonard Parade as the example. So Leonard Parade, scroll down to find that one. There it is there. So I'll just tick that to highlight it. You don't need to tick it. I can leave it unhighlighted. But what the site controller needs to do is click on these three dots on the end of the file name, and that'll bring down this menu and select Share. So in this window, we want to allocate this to Craig Mason and Blake Speed. So we'll click, look for Craig, type in his name. There he is there, Craig Mason, and we can add Blake Speed in as well. If you want to send this list to more GSTs than that, you can just keep typing in their names. Otherwise, you may only type in one name. It's completely up to the site controller how they choose to do this. Once they've typed in the names, just click Send, and that will send an email with a link to this spreadsheet. And so once I'll just open that spreadsheet now. So essentially the GSTs will open the file and see this view straight away. Again, you can see that the information is compressed. So just get the GST to highlight all the headings, all the columns rather, and then double click between any two, it doesn't matter, to space them out evenly. Now, for this example, at this stage, we've got these four columns on the far right for Make Safe, Relight, Card Left, and Comments. These columns may be moved to this side of the file just to make it easier for use by the GSTs in the field, but for the time being, they're just positioned here. And so for the site controller, we need to make sure there's very clear instructions with the GSTs that we simply want a yes or a no answer as they move along doing their make safes, relights. We want to be absolutely clear and black and white in terms of the actions that are being taken. If there is a need for the GSTs to record any comments specific to a property, they can put them over in this comments column. If the GST is walking along and finds a meter that's not on this list, they can simply scroll to the bottom and just add it to the list at the bottom. So 67, when a parade, they don't have to put the postcode, let's get that. You put in the meter number, JB 12345, whatever. Don't worry about the MERN number, that's probably going to be removed from this file. They could put in some meter location instructions, so left side, they could probably put it over here as well, left side, or perhaps further instructions, left side, down driveway, perhaps. And they don't need to worry about the pipe position or length. You can skip that for the purposes of this exercise, and then they can just, on the column, put in there whether it's made safe. So yes. Did it end up getting relit when they went back out? Yes. So they didn't need to leave a card, nothing there, and no comments. Now, when the GST is moving along, putting their entries in, if the site controller opens this spreadsheet, they will be able to see the GST putting in information. The GST will also see the site controller in the spreadsheet at the same time. This is called the co-editing function, and will only work when the GST enables editing when they receive and open the file on their tablet or mobile phone. Now this is important information for the site controller. So coming back to the summary report, the site controller can, on the summary report, type in the headings. So make safe, relight, card left, card left, and comments. So the site controller, given that they have visibility of the individual spreadsheets, they can go in and record the progress as the GSTs are moving along. Now this is very useful in terms of keeping the control room and the IMT or EMT informed of progress, as they will likely have a requirement to provide updates to media, the customer services, retailers, etc., on the progress of the outage and expected durations, etc. So this can be very useful information. Unlike previously where we were using paper, you might not see the GSTs for several hours. Now you can see it live and keep a live track of the progress. This can also allow the site controller to plan better in terms of when they can utilise these resources, when they're freed up in terms of doing these activities.